Вот. Як така от наступна опитна підерська техніка.
Russian personnel and material losses in Ukraine are so high, the Kremlin is having serious problems recruiting new contract soldiers and is relying on decommissioning Soviet-era weapons as it cannot produce enough modern versions, Ukraine's military intelligence spokesperson said on July 26th. Speaking on national TV, Andriy Yusov said the situation will soon have an impact on the frontline situation and Russia's ability to effectively wage war. Russian losses in Ukraine reached conflict highs during May and June, the UK Defense Ministry reported on July 12th. In an intelligence report on X, the ministry said average daily Russian casualties, both killed and wounded, reached 1,262 and 1,163 in the 2 months, respectively. On July 18th, President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview with the BBC that around 20,000 Russian troops were killed during Russia's failed offensive in Kharkiv Oblast. They can replenish these losses, Yusov said, adding, but there are already serious problems with the recruitment of new contract soldiers. The aggressor state is coming up with new incentives at various levels to attract new cannon fodder. But this machine is starting to malfunction. As Russia has sought to replenish its military, decimated by high losses in Ukraine, authorities have implemented financial perks to incentivize enlistment. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin signed a decree on July 23rd, establishing a one-time signing bonus of 1.9 million rubles, $21,200, for city residents who join the military. Russia will be unable to maintain the scale of its attacks in multiple sectors for a long time because its capabilities are not unlimited, General Alexander Pivnenko, the commander of Ukraine's National Guard, said in an interview with Ukrinform. Moscow's troops have been putting ever-growing pressure on Ukraine along the front, attempting to break through Ukrainian defenses near Pokrovsk while capturing the eastern part of Chasiv Yar. Ukraine was also forced to withdraw from Krinky on the eastern bank of the Dnipro River in Kherson Oblast. Kyiv's forces managed to halt the Russian advance near Kharkiv, but Russia continues to hold a handful of settlements in the area. The enemy's offensive capabilities are not unlimited considering the losses they suffer, Pivnenko told Ukrinform. In another month and a half, they will not be able to conduct active assaults in many directions at once and will switch to defense. Pivnenko stressed that at a time when Russia will be replenishing its troops, Ukraine must pay attention to preparing its own reserves and armament. If Ukraine plans one step ahead of Russia, then everything will be fine, he added. The most important thing that can be done now is training. Development of training centers, procurement of weapons and military equipment, production of military equipment, drones, armored vehicles, air defense systems, man-portable air defense systems, and ammunition, Pivnenko said. The French authorities had prepared extensively to protect the security of the Summer Olympics, with every conceivable high-tech security measure in place to protect the venues, the competitors, and the spectators. Surveillance drones circle above the city, AI-equipped cameras on the ground, cybersecurity teams, and liaison teams from other police and security forces work to keep an eye out for any suspicious persons or activity. This is all backed up by 45,000 police officers, 18,000 military personnel, and around 20,000 private security firms will be on duty in Paris for the duration of the Games. What doesn't seem to have been considered was the likelihood of attacks taking place away from the capital, and particularly the vulnerability of France's key rail routes. The attacks appeared to have been planned and carefully targeted at power lines and control boxes at just 5 strategic points along the state-owned SNCF rail network, resulting in almost half of trains in the north and east of France being cancelled and the high-speed TVG train system being brought to a halt on Friday. Crowds of passengers were stranded at stations throughout the network, with police having to be diverted to stations in and around Paris on Friday because of the large numbers of people gathering there. A spokesperson for the railways told AFP that it had been the victim of several simultaneous malicious acts overnight, with crucial cables being cut and signaling infrastructure being burned. This is a massive attack on a large scale to paralyze the TGV network, adding that many routes will need to be cancelled, with the situation likely to last at least all weekend while repairs are conducted. Stoppages not only affected spectators heading towards Paris for the game's opening ceremony, including users of the Eurostar, but a number of competitors traveling to take part in the opening. In addition, almost 1 million French holidaymakers were expected to start the exodus from the capital and other major cities this weekend for their summer breaks. Information boards at a number of stations warned of delays of 2 hours or more, with signs in departure halls warning that normal traffic was not expected to resume before Monday, July 29, at the earliest. No group or groups have claimed the attacks, and the French authorities have not yet accused anyone suspected of the sabotage. Possible suspects include terrorist groups, left-wing extremists, or environmental activists, but most commentators are already laying responsibility on President Vladimir Putin's doorstep. A French security expert, Jérôme Poirot, told The Telegraph, "We know that Russia and other countries want to interfere with the Olympic Games. There may be a plan in place to prevent the opening ceremony. France's support for Ukraine, that has increased both practically and vociferously in the last year, has put it and other leading European backers of Kyiv firmly in Russia's sights, with the Kremlin seeking retribution through a campaign of sabotage, arson, cyber, and disinformation attacks as part of Russian hybrid warfare strategy to undermine Western democracy. Moscow agents are the prime suspects for carrying out or planning a series of arson attacks on businesses, key infrastructure, and military logistic infrastructure connected to Ukraine in Germany, Czechia, Poland, and the UK since the start of the 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine. State Duma Deputy Viktor Sobolev calls on Parliament to tighten the rules for cowards and traitors and ruthlessly exterminate them. According to him, it is necessary to introduce the same disciplinary rules as during the Second World War. 74-year-old Sobolev is a career maniac who has spent his entire life serving either the Soviet or Putin regimes.
Что без железной воинской дисциплины не может быть никакой победы. Об этом еще Владимир Ильич Ленин говорил, кто изо всех сил не поддерживает дисциплины и порядка в Красной Армии, тот предатель и изменник. Для того нужно истреблять беспощадно. Жестко, но война шла. И сейчас идет война. Я скажу, что кроме этого закона нужно идти дальше. Создавать и штрафные роты, как это было в Великую Отечественную войну, и штрафные батальоны. Для тех, кто нарушает и серьезно нарушает воинскую дисциплину или проявляет трусость и другие проступки, которые в принципе ведут к поражению. Спасибо. Поэтому я держать этот закон. Спасибо.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.